even in a post-2020 election, or in the midst of it, or wherever we're navigating through, whatever we're navigating through here in these days following the election, it is absolutely incredible what we're dealing with. In fact, the closest analogy I can come up with here is that we're looking at 2016, the 2016 election meets 2000, I should say, back to the Gore Bush years. For those of you that have followed politics for a while and followed this, you definitely remember that whole shenanigan and the process and the lawsuits and the recounts and all this sort of stuff. Democrats, again, were never happy with the number of votes counted until they showed, or they thought they would show, that Al Gore would be president of the United States. So here we find ourselves in this argument, this battle, and there's so many questions that abound. I mean, it is just truly over the top. Welcome to the program, by the way. My name is Todd Huff, your host here on the program. Many of you may be new listeners, especially as we may have first been introduced to each other on election night. I know some folks have been new to the program. My email is todd@toddhuffshow.com. You can email me your thoughts, your questions, your opinions. Yes, I'll even accept your adoration and praise there. Todd@toddhuffshow.com. And you can always connect with us on Facebook, so long as our friends at Facebook allow that to be the case. And so now we're having an argument in the wake of what is going on here, which candidly is a lot to absorb. It was a lot to absorb later into election night. It's a lot to absorb here, even in the days following the election, which now we are 48 hours from when the election day election day itself actually began. And you hear this message, you hear this, I'll say, talking point, because this is what the left does. They're using this phrase, count all the votes. We just want to count all of the votes. That's all we want to do. And that seems so benign. In fact, anyone who claims that you don't want to count all the votes is not a good person. Why would you not want to count all of the votes? Do you not care about what people think? People take their time to fulfill their constitutional duty, to fulfill their, to speak their voice politically in this nation. What do you want? You don't want to count every vote. That's how this argument is being framed. Of course, that's not what is at stake here. We want to count every legal and legally casted ballot. That's what needs to be done. We also don't want numbers to appear out of nowhere. For Democrats overnight. And that happened overnight between election night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday morning. In fact, I'm looking here at an article in the Federalist written by John Daniel Davidson. Headline: Yes, Democrats are trying to steal the election in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. In the three Midwest battleground states, vote counting irregularities persist in an election that will be decided on razor-thin margins. So Mr. Davidson writes this as of this writing, which I don't see a time or date stamp on this piece, but this is I believe I saw this morning, but I don't know when it posted. As of this writing, it appears that Democrat party machines in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania are trying to steal the election. As reporters and commentators went to bed early Tuesday morning, all three states were too close to call, but President Trump led former Vice President Joe Biden by comfortable margins far beyond what had been predicted in the polls. Pause here for a moment. If you remember, for those of you that were listening to our program, Election Night, from the Freedom 95 studios, or maybe even yesterday. Yesterday's a blur to me. Yesterday's a blur because I none of us had a lot of sleep, but we did a lot of talking. I did a lot of talking there for a while, and it's a blur when I said what, but I do remember specifically at different points Tuesday night and I believe yesterday said that I would have preferred what I saw Tuesday night, even into the wee hours of the morning. I think I saw 2:30 on my clock before I decided to actually put down my phone and close my eyes and try to go to sleep. But I remember thinking I would rather be President Trump. I said that because that is what I thought was true. And the thing is now I don't know what is true because of what we're finding with some of these irregularities. So that was the case on Tuesday night, even early into Tuesday morning. I remember saying that President Trump, of course, didn't have as many states called, but in the states that were still up for grabs, he was leading in most of them, and his leads in those states were larger than the leads that Biden had in the two states where he was leading. And I hate talking about this like it's a horse race, but maybe I should rethink that. I've normally said elections are not horse races. Once all the votes are counted on Election Day, people act as though it's a horse race. Biden retook the lead in Pennsylvania, or that's not the case. I'm just saying these are the sorts of things people would say. But all the votes had been calculated or cast. It's just a matter of tallying/calculating them. It's a matter of the numbers to come in. All the points, if you will, had been scored. Except for now, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that the game isn't still going on for many in the Democrat Party. That's what to go back to my comments off the top of the program, this count every vote situation means that the left wants to count ballots. They want to count these mail-in ballots for as long as it takes to give them enough votes in states like Pennsylvania or wherever to guarantee a Biden victory. Or, as a friend of mine pointed out, it's not just about Biden at this point. It's also about the Senate. They were licking their chops. They thought they were going to ride in on a blue wave. May I point out a couple of things? As of right now, or as of the last time I checked, I guess I should pause. I haven't checked this morning. I checked late last night as I was preparing. But as of late last night, the Republicans in the House of Representatives actually have gained seats. Now, they're still projected to be in the minority, although Kevin McCarthy seems to disagree with that. Kevin McCarthy seems to believe, House Minority Leader, that we, the Republicans, and I say we, I'm a conservative first. I've got some problems with the Republicans, but right now we're talking about some very fundamental things, very fundamental ideas, like, for example, who agrees with the founding principles of America and who is a socialist. That's really the divide that we have ideologically between the two parties right now. It's insane to think about this. We are in a battle for literally the survival of the republic. I know those are strong words, but it's true, folks. There are people on the ballot. Kamala Harris is the most liberal senator in the U.S. Senate. These are not folks that are friendly to the ideas upon which this great nation was founded. And this is an ideological battle being waged, and it's taking place on the political battlefront. And so this is obviously very important. And we know that there are many reasons to not trust the radical left and the Democrat Party, and that is what Mr. Davidson is writing about here. So let's go back to his piece in the Federalist today. He continues, none of the networks called these states because enough mail-in ballots remained uncounted that it could swing either way, but Trump's position looked good. Agree 100%, just what I was saying. Then something strange happened in the dead of night. In both Michigan and Wisconsin, vote dumps early Wednesday morning showed, and I know you've seen this. If you haven't, brace yourselves, 100% of the votes going for Biden and 0%, that's zero, so not even one vote, for Trump. So overnight, Tuesday night into yesterday morning, both states of Michigan and Wisconsin had vote dumps, data that was supposedly entered into their system. It was entered into their system, supposedly legitimately entered into their system, where the numbers showed 100% of the votes going to Biden in both states. 100%. Folks, I remember watching, back in the day, there were make-believe elections when Saddam Hussein was the dictator in Iraq, right? They had these make-believe elections, and I remember watching the numbers. And even Hussein didn't try to get away with 100% of the vote. In fact, it would show the numbers come in, and they were, 93% or 96%. They wanted to give a couple of percent just to show that not everybody could get on board with the great benevolent dictator Saddam Hussein. And of course, those 4% were probably tortured, thrown into the equivalent of Iraqi gulags, tortured, beaten, raped, and murdered. But that's another awful story of big government in our history of the world. But not even Saddam Hussein pretended to get 100% of the vote. So in Michigan, think about this. Overnight, Tuesday night into Wednesday, Biden got, he writes here in the piece, 138,339 votes, and Trump got none, zero, in an overnight vote dump. Now, he writes here, his colleague at the Federalist is one of the individuals who noted this. He writes, when my Federalist colleague, Sean Davis, noted this, Twitter was quick to censor his tweet, of course. Of course, Jack Dorsey, fresh off his cross-country hiking escapades, looking like the mountain man that he wanted to, I guess, be at the Senate hearing here recently. He decided, of course, he and his team decided to censor that tweet. Why would you censor that tweet? This is as factual as you can get. In fact, he compared vote totals on the New York Times website. And that's what he writes here, even though all he meaning his colleague Sean Davis, had done was compare two sets of vote totals on the New York Times website. And he wasn't the only one who noticed, although on Wednesday it appeared that anyone who noted the Biden vote dump in Michigan was getting censored on Twitter. See how this works. Others were quick to note that there was partisan censorship from Twitter and raised concerns over how 100% of a vote dump could possibly go to Biden. But the social media giant has maintained its crackdown on sharing information like this. Twitter users could not like or share a tweet from the Daily Wire's Matt Walsh, noting the 138,339 vote dump. BuzzFeed later reported, and I've got to take a break here, but BuzzFeed later reported that according to a spokesperson at Decision Desk headquarters, the votes for Biden were, quote, the result of a data error created from, quote, a file created by the state that we ingested. When we noticed the error, they said, it updated the count, which somehow gave 138,339 votes to Biden and 0 to Trump. It turns out the vote dump was the result of an alleged typo, an extra 0 that had been tacked on to Biden's vote total in, Shiawassee County, I guess, Michigan. It seems the error was discovered only because Davis and other Twitter users noted how insane and suspicious the vote totals looked and demanded an investigation that uncovered what was either a typo or an incredibly clumsy attempt to boost Biden's vote count. I'm going to stop here. But folks, this is what These are the sorts of things that create all of this havoc, uncertainty, the questions. This is why, by the way, Biden coming across very calm at this point. And I'll tell you what, that should be concerning, because that tells me that there may be even more going here than folks are being able to sniff out, because this should be we've said it from the beginning, a very close election. None of the tightness in these races in the states surprise me. It's just that they're all seeming now to tip towards Biden, and which is a possibility. I'm open to that. I understand that this, and I've said that. You can go back to archives of this program and hear me say that. But for what reason, and what are these things that are happening? We've got people covering up windows in polling places so that you can't see the counting process. That's described as transparent. We have Pennsylvania. We've got leaders of that state basically saying Trump cannot win. They're supposed to be responsible for counting votes. They're out there basically campaigning, saying that their guy is going to win. It's just a remarkable situation we have on our hands. And it's one thing to lose an election. We have to be prepared for that reality. If we lose based upon real votes that are counted or cast by real people that meet legal requirements, then that is the game. That is the way that it goes, folks. But if we lose because people are fabricating numbers or stuffing ballot boxes or doing other nefarious activities that steal, dare I say, the election from whichever candidate, that cannot be allowed to happen. Why should we even have to make that statement? Again, think about all the time the Democrat Party has invested in furthering the notion that voter fraud is a myth in this country. What do you mean voter fraud is a myth? Voter fraud is not a myth. Voter fraud is a real thing. People have been prosecuted. People have been convicted of voter fraud. Heritage has a big list of examples of people who have been convicted, tried by a jury of their peers, and convicted. This is not a made-up thing. It doesn't mean it's the only scenario. It doesn't mean that Biden didn't somehow win this thing because of the hatred for Trump. And may I ask this question as well? Who are the ones that, one of the things that they're trying to do is make you feel guilty for raising these questions. But who's the ones that have invested for 4 years into the notion that Trump stole the previous election? Anyway, long in the segment. Lots to discuss, lots to wade through. Quick timeout here is in order, though. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
Did you know that there are 21,000 chimney fires annually? It's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a CSIA certified chimney technician clean and inspect your chimney every year. Keep your family safe by joining our 3-year sweep and inspection plan. And mention Todd to be entered to win $1,000 in cash. Contact Smalling Masonry, a Christian-owned business, at 317-903-8121 to learn more today.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, President of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the health care they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Corin Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corin Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Seems like just yesterday that you couldn't find a quiet place to think in your home. Now all the kids have flown the nest and you find yourself wondering what to do with all of that extra space. This is Bruce of Bruce Richardson Realty. My team and I understand that life changes, and so do your home needs. So whether you're downsizing or upsizing, give us a call at 317-507-3285. Let us help you find the best fit for your residential or your commercial property needs. 317-507-3285.
Would you like to save 20% or more on your insurance? Let AIA and Avon do a free comparison for you. As an independent agent, we can find savings that fit your needs and budget. We work for you, not the insurance companies. Whether your insurance need is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com.
Welcome back. Just sifting through all of the chaos happening here in the wake of this election. Although we're not in the wake of it, I think we're still in the midst of it. At least you could certainly make that case with some of the things happening. Going back to the article here in the Federalist that points out some pretty incredible irregularities with the tallying, the counting, the adding of additional votes to the states of Michigan and Wisconsin overnight. There's additionally problems when you look at counties. For example, as the article continues here, there was also something suspicious about the vote reporting in Antrim County, Michigan, where Trump beat Hillary Clinton by 30 points in 2016. Initial vote totals there show Biden ahead of Trump by 29 points. A result that can't possibly be accurate, as plenty of journalists noted. So literally, Trump wins by 30 points against Hillary Clinton. And then in 2020, this latest election, the one that we're in the midst of now, 2020, that's a 59-point swing. Trump losing, according to what's being reported, to Biden there by 29 points. He won over Hillary by 30 points. I don't think anything like that could be found. Maybe I just can't envision how that would happen anywhere in the country. But a 59-point swing between 2016 and 2020. After the strange results caught national attention, election officials in Antrim County said that they were investigating what they called skewed results, working with the company that provides their election software to see what went wrong. The county clerk said that they plan to have an answer by yesterday afternoon. Then another mysterious all-Biden vote dump had happened in Wisconsin. Biden miraculously overcame a 4.1 Trump lead in the middle of the night, thanks to vote dumps in which he got, you guessed it, 100% of the votes, and Trump got 0. And there's people on Twitter that are showing the graphs and so forth. So that's what's predicating the Trump team's request, demands for a recount in the state of Wisconsin. All these questions about Michigan. We've got Pennsylvania. Trump's out there. They're declaring victory. Trump's team has declared victory in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. All those states are still outstanding, and they are predicting that they will win Arizona when all the votes are counted. Folks, we are in a scenario that it's incredible to witness and to look at this. We're in a scenario where Fox is calling states for Biden, a state in particular, way too early. CNN seems to be the more patient, reasonable reporter of determining who's winning states and who's calling states and so forth than Fox. Fox is doubling and tripling and quadrupling down with the individual responsible. I've seen him several times as his name is escaping me, but the individual leading the counting desk there at Fox News, he's doubling and tripling and quadrupling down on Trump losing Arizona and Biden winning it, except for last night when some of these numbers started coming in. The first drop of votes, I haven't seen what the second numbers were yet, although I've seen them, I just haven't calculated them. The first drop of votes for Trump last night in these counties that we were waiting on showed that it was either 57 or 59%. I think I've seen both numbers of those votes that came in last night came in for Trump. He was on pace for exactly if that pace is maintained, he was on pace to do exactly what Trump's team has said will happen, which is Trump would win the state of Arizona by possibly around 30,000 votes. If all this stuff is true, we've got Nevada out there. There's a 7,500 vote difference in Nevada. You got Pennsylvania. I mean, it's remarkable what is happening right here before our eyes. And there's reasons to be concerned. And I want to play a bit. I saw an interview that Kayleigh McEnany had on, I think it was Fox. Yeah, she was on Bret Baier last night. And I just want you to listen. Actually, there's Eric Trump out there as well, articulating what is going on, what is at stake. And the Democrats and the left have invested 4 years in President Trump being a stealer of elections, being a nefarious individual, a dictator who's going to refuse to leave the White House if the American people decide to vote him out. This is the narrative. This is the story. Of course, the problem is the president should not leave if the election results are not valid. That should be challenged. That shouldn't just be winked at and, President Trump just concede. That should not happen. He's doing exactly the right thing here. And we have seen what President Trump has exposed to anyone who wants to see this is that to the radical left, and I've said this before, government is their God. Government is their religion. The deep state we've seen exist. The deep state is the Democrat Party. The deep state is Washington, D.C. By the way, what were the vote totals in Washington, D.C.? It was like 92, 93% for Biden, whatever small percentage for Trump. 90+% from the deep state. You look at what happened in 2016. It took us a long time to get information about this, but the Obama administration spied on Carter Page and the Trump campaign. This is undeniable. So it makes me wonder, what are we going to find out Team Biden and the Harris Biden administration, God forbid, the Harris Biden campaign anyway, what did they do? What did they do to get into this position today? These are fair questions. The questions are fair. Allegations, making blanket allegations and and so forth is irresponsible. But these are fair questions. These are individuals that are not trustworthy. We have a lot of bad folks in a lot of positions of power, a lot of bad folks that are operating inside the deep state, inside that bubble in Washington, D.C. We've seen all sorts of attempts to undermine the Trump administration during his time as president. It's been a constant assault. If Trump fights back, they freak out. They say it's an assault on the freedom of the press, and they cry and they moan and they whine and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, this is what we're dealing with. This is not over. Trump can still win this. I mean, I'm not saying it's likely. I don't even know at this point. I would just like to know that whatever we end up with is the actual vote number or vote totals and so forth. And I don't even know how in the world we begin to know that. And in close elections where there's, in the states that are close, a few thousand votes here and there can add up to make a tremendous amount of difference. So keep talking about this after the break. Lots to sift through. Sit tight, back here in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
There's a lot going on in the world today, and with so much going on, it's sometimes hard to maintain balance. Jesus said in John 16:33, "In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world." I'm Pastor Jeff Floyd of the Martinsville First Church of the Nazarene. To experience how life can be better with Jesus, come worship at M1 Church at 10 a.m. this Sunday, 1609 John R. Wooden Drive in Martinsville, or catch our live stream service on Facebook at M1 Church. For more information, visit m1nazarene.org. Have a great day today in Jesus.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. That's 800-764-9168.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, Freije, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
When life is hard for the women you care about, there is help with issues such as widowhood, anxiety, depression, or abuse. They don't have to go through it alone. Peace Restored is there to walk with women through the journey. Peace Restored helps women through free mentoring, counseling, and education. When life is hard, Peace Restored is there to help women you care about find hope and healing. To learn more, visit peacerestored.net.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Welcome back. In addition to what I've just shared with you about Michigan and Wisconsin, we got the issue in Pennsylvania where they're wanting to, the election officials in Pennsylvania, they want to count ballots received after deadlines that aren't even postmarked. I mean, this insanity goes on and on and on. Now, I think you can say both things here. Look, if Trump loses on the legitimate vote count, as much as it pains me to say it, Trump loses. If Trump loses because of nefarious activities, or at least because of questionable practices or vote dumps or whatever the case may be, then that's a totally different animal. People like you, people like me will not sit down quietly and take that. That is just not in our DNA. That is not in the DNA of what it means to be an American. That is not going to be something that we let drift off quietly into the night. And more importantly, President Trump's not going to go down for that as well. Project Veritas has released another undercover video. There is a mail carrier in Michigan who kept his identity hidden, and he told Project Veritas, James O'Keefe, he told him that they were instructed to go to these mail drop-off locations, and because a court had ruled that the ballots had to be postmarked by November 3rd, Election Day, which, I mean, is completely reasonable. But what his supervisor told him, this mail carrier in Michigan, according to his allegations, is that he told him to take the mail-in ballots out of the drop boxes and then affix a postmark from the previous day. Fraudulent activity designed to count ballots that did not meet. So take ballots out of the drop boxes that were there on Wednesday, postmark them for Tuesday so that they could get counted. Postmark those by hand. That's an allegation as well. Kayleigh McEnany is putting some of this into perspective. Also, she did that last night on Special Report with Brett Baer and Martha McCollum. And I'm going to play a little bit of that interview, but I'm going to have to do it after the break because I got to keep us on schedule here as we do this. But, I mean, there are so many things out there from Arizona and Fox calling that state early. Trump's team still saying they're going to win that. And actually these returns that are coming in now showing us that is certainly a possibility. We have irregularities in Michigan. We got a recount requested in Wisconsin where there's also irregularities. We've got Pennsylvania, who has all but told us that this is a little bit hyperbole, but basically as long as it takes them to find a way to find ballots for Joe Biden, that's what the state election officials are kind of hinting at. That's a little bit hyperbole, but I'm not sure that that's far from reality either. They've guaranteed us Biden will win once, quote, all the ballots are counted. Of course, we find out that all the ballots mean ballots that don't meet the legal requirements, and then they accuse Republicans of wanting to stop counting when in reality they're counting things that never should have been counted. So all these things going on, just trying to sift through these things. It's still obviously not a good position for Trump to be in, but again, it is not over either. Fox has Biden at 264. CNN has Biden at 253 electoral votes. That's basically one or two states away from the 270 needed. But again, when you look at this map, and if the Arizona numbers are correct, then there's a very real possibility that both of these folks still have a path, Biden and Trump, to get to 270. So timeout is in order here. We'll get back and play this interview from Kayleigh McEnany, or at least part of it, on Fox News last night. Back here in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items, at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
Ever wondered what shooting a real machine gun feels like? At Indie Trading Post, you can have an awesome and safe shooting experience in our family-friendly environment. Firing a weapon on full auto is something you will always remember. Schedule some range time today and let Indie Trading Post give you the real machine gun shooting experience. We guarantee you'll have a blast. Give us a call at 317-782-4867 or schedule your range time at fullautoindy.com.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the word. For on time.
We all know having health insurance doesn't always equal health care. That's why at Freedom HealthWorks, we believe the key to maintaining good health is based on a straightforward, personal relationship with your physician. With our direct doctor-patient relationship model, we remove your healthcare middleman and replace him with transparent pricing and incentive to call your doctor at the first sign of illness. So if you're ready to experience real care from a doctor that really cares about you, go to freedomhealthworks.com and learn more about the benefits of our direct primary care model. Freedom HealthWorks. Be treated better.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
It's deer season. Whether you are an experienced hunter or just looking to start, the Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood has the deer gear you need, with an indoor archery range, huge product selection, and a friendly staff ready to answer all your questions. We can help you through bow, gun, and muzzleloader season. Make the Outdoorsman in Greenwood part of your deer camp this year. Find us online at outdoorsmansportshop.com. Happy hunting.
Anxiety, depression, relationship problems, past trauma. Problems rarely get better when given time. Care to Change counseling can help. Our professionals combined evidence-based care models with scripture to get you on the path to a productive life. We are here to help you make the changes you need for a healthier, happier you. Take that brave step today. Call Care to Change at 317-790-9396 or visit caretochange.org.
Welcome back. Now, I'm not trying to instill a, an undue amount of hope here. It's still not a good position for Trump to be in. But again, when you look at the states that are outstanding, you look at Pennsylvania, the lead there. You look at North Carolina, the lead there. Georgia's lead is, out of those three states, I believe the smallest at this point. but all of them are within a couple of percentage points of having counted all of the ballots, allegedly. And this is the sort of thing that people make jokes about this very thing. I remember during the Democrat National, the convention, it may have been the Republican convention, Rahm Emanuel, Deadfish, was on ABC, and he said, we have a saying in Chicago amongst Democrats, and he said it a way that's flipped from the way I'd always heard it. He said, vote often and vote early. He actually said that on TV. I thought we have always said, we've jokingly said that the Democrat believes in voting early and often, but he said vote often and early. Either way, the same thing with slightly different spin. But when there's jokes about these things, folks, this is our republic. You talk about damaging to our democracy, as they say. Here you go. The way that some of this stuff has been handled. It doesn't mean that Trump has won, but it means, wait a minute, this is not the way that this is supposed to be going on, and there's legitimate questions and legitimate concerns. And I just want you to hear Kayleigh McEnany. I don't have the time to play all of this, but if you missed her last night on Special Report with Brett Baer, you can hear her articulate some of these reasons and concerns and questions. Here you go.
Good to join you.
So these cases where you're pressing to have more clarity on them, the president said, at this point, the damage has already been done. So what do you hope to achieve, for instance, in the Pennsylvania situation? And do you have, we were talking to Byron York moments ago, any real evidence that anything untoward has actually happened there?
So let me start by saying Philadelphia in particular has a history of very peculiar results. You had in the case 59 different precincts where Mitt Romney got precisely 0 votes, which is very unlikely and curious indeed. Just 6 months ago, you had a Philadelphia judge who was convicted in a scheme to accept bribes as he cast fraudulent ballots. 4 months ago, you had a Democrat individual who was charged for in 2014, 2015, and in 2016 stuffing the ballot box with fraudulent ballots. So we want to be on alert. And what that means is having people at the polls, volunteers who can observe how the ballots are counted and ensure that it is counted accurately. Right now, we're not being given that. So that is what this lawsuit is all about. Free, transparent observation of what is going on in Philadelphia.
What's the ultimate remedy here? Are you trying to close the gap in Wisconsin? John just talked about the last recount in Wisconsin that netted about 300 votes. In Pennsylvania, what is the goal there? To question any possible fraudulent absentee ballots and get them tossed out?
So let me start by saying the component of being able to observe the ballot count is one component of what's happening in Pennsylvania. We just want to ensure everything is fair because we do believe we're going to prevail. Brett, by the most conservative estimates that we have come up with, very conservative, saying we get, let's say, 5% of the vote in Philadelphia, 30% of the vote in remaining counties. And that is indeed conservative because when you look at Westmoreland County, when you look at Franklin County, these are counties we carry by 69 to 80%. I am saying if we only count 30% of that for Trump, which we believe it will be far more, we anticipate winning Pennsylvania by 40,000 votes, which is why we have declared victory. Nevertheless, we want to ensure that there is fair counting. When you look at a state like Michigan, where this is your reporting, Matt Finn from Fox News is reporting, putting up papers so we're not allowed to observe spoiled ballots and whether they are rejected or counted. That is a problem. So we want fairness because we're going to win in a free election where the votes are counted fairly.
Yeah, well, I think that transparency is something everybody can understand.
Okay. I don't have any more time. I just wanted you to hear just some of the things. And by the way, Kayleigh McEnany does a fantastic job at getting right to the heart of the matter here and getting to some of these issues. I mean, you think about the city of Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. It actually sounds like the city of professional voter fraud is what it sounds like. And there's Pennsylvania, Philadelphia in particular, has been a problem for a long time. She's articulated that. I'm out of time. Come back and wrap up. You're listening for Conservative Not Better Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter? To subscribe, visit ToddHuffShow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Did you know that there are 21,000 chimney fires annually? It's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a CSIA certified chimney technician clean and inspect your chimney every year. Keep your family safe by joining our 3-year sweep and inspection plan. And mention Todd to be entered to win $1,000 in cash. Contact Smalling Masonry, a Christian-owned business, at 317-903-8121 to learn more today.
If you filed for a 6-month extension on your taxes this year, October 15th is a crucial deadline. Many of the millions of individuals who filed for an extension have still yet to file before the October deadline. If you need help, call Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group, 317-288-5260. It's important to file your taxes before the deadline in order to avoid penalties. Even if you can't pay, or even if it's been a few years since you filed, you have to file that return this year. If you're facing a tough tax situation, Jody and the team at Midwest Tax Group can help you through it by filing any back taxes owed or even setting up a payment arrangement with the IRS. You need a professional you can trust with years of experience to help you avoid any tax pitfalls and make sure you get every deduction you deserve. And as Jody's client, you can consult with him year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260 or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
The compassion of Christ. It's living life connecting to the broken and messy world. It's not simply walking down the street and dropping a quarter in someone's bucket. It's been perverted by Satan from biblical compassion to feeling sorry for, and sympathy isn't where God wants us to live. It's connecting to broken people in our daily life. Living the compassion of Christ.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
Welcome back, folks. All of the time we have today, but this is a moving target. We have, I think I saw North Carolina yesterday, I don't even know, last night, it's a blur, said that they don't expect to have the rest of their votes tallied, I think, for another week. I think I saw November 12th. Is that right? November 12th? We've got questions about Nevada, which I think is supposed to give new numbers today, but who stinking knows at this point? Who knows? Lots of things developing here, and we'll be walking through this with you each and every step of the way. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I truly appreciate it. If you're new, if you've been here from the beginning, thank you so much for being a part of this program. God bless, guys. Have a great day. SDG. See you tomorrow. Take care.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place in time
Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. Crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today, providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price. Our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create, on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.